let me start the Palo Alto firewall. So this is my Palo Alto firewall. So we got the IP address also. I'll directly open here. Okay, so this is our Palo Alto box. So it's throwing the warning error. So let me log in, proceed with, and what is the default username? Admin, and the password will also be admin. Hit enter. So it is asking me to change the username and password. It is asking us to change the username and password. So what is the old password? We have the old password is KDMIN admin. Now the new password we are going to set capital A DMIN at the rate 123. The same thing we need to be repeat here, capital A DMIN at the rate 123. Change password. So once you change the passwords, guys, it is going to throw you out. Okay. So again you need to log in with the new password, whatever the password we change here. So let me note down that also, because you don't want to be confused when you are going to deploy the firewall. So I log in this box. Okay. So once I try to log in this particular box, right, it's asking me the username and password. The default ones are, right, the default ones are default username admin. The default password will also be a admin, right? So once I perform this and hit enter, so it is going to ask me to change the username, like change the password, right? So it is going to ask the old password, old PWD, old password is what? Admin. I type admin, then it is asking us the new password. New password. The new password is we set it like capital A DMIN at the rate 123. And again it is asking confirm new password. New PDW. Confirm new password is again the same thing, admin at the rate 123. Right? So once you've done this, right, it is going to throw you. Again you need to be logging. Again you need to log in. Remember this, don't be panicked when you are deploying in the production networks. I'm clicking here login. So the username is admin and the password is capital A DMIN at the rate 123. Just hit enter. So which Palo Alto we are taking? This Palo Alto we are taking. It is no more connected in the network, guys. Still I'm out of the band. I'm trying to access this Palo Alto box with the out of band. I'm just taking the management access. With the help of management access, I try to log in the box, right? We try to log in into the box. So as we discuss here in our the steps, so what we need to do in the Palo Alto box, so we need to configure first the zones. We decided we need to configure the zones. So what is the zones? V-byte trust and V-byte untrust, right? V-byte trust and V-byte untrust. Let me configure the zones. So we are here, like I'm going to the networks, the interfaces and the zones, networks and zones. I'm going to configure the zone. So as we discussed, V-wire untrusted. And type is what? Type is virtual wire. I'll copy this name to repeat once again. Okay. V-wire untrust. If you want, I can mention the capital. Okay, let me mention the capital, guys. V-wire untrust. V-wire untrust. Just hit OK. So one of the zone is created. Again, network zones. Click here, add. So here I'm going to paste untrusted. Now this time we need to configure trust zone, V-byte trust, and the type of the zone is V-byte. Just hit enter. So we have created two zones, guys. Now, so zones are done. As we discussed, zones are done. Now what we need to do? We need to identify the interfaces. So which interfaces we are going to connect? Which interfaces we are going to connect towards a router and towards switch. So if you see here, so here we don't have any interface, right? So I'm going to place the Palo Alto firewall here. I'm going to place the Palo Alto firewall. So So here I am going to decide Ethernet 1/1, which is connecting towards router, Ethernet 1/2, which is connecting towards our switch. So I can mention here. So this is my Palo Alto box. Now for time being, you can forget these ports. Okay. So this is my Palo Alto box, which I am going to connect. Okay. Here, Ethernet 1/1 towards router and Ethernet 1/2 towards my switch side, right? So I'm going to configure Ethernet 1/1 as an untrust. So network and the interfaces. You can see here we have the different interfaces. I'm going to select Ethernet 1/1. I can mention the comment connecting towards RTR router. In the interface type here, the main thing guys, you need to select what mode of deployment we are doing. We are doing the vWide, right? Virtual wire. So you need to type the interface type as a virtual wire. Earlier we perform like layer 2 and we perform tab. Now today we are doing the vWide tab, right? So we select the vWide interface here. Select the vWide interface. Yeah. So once you select the vWide interface here, guys, okay. Now it is going to ask you virtual wire. You can select none as of now, and the security zone. We created the security zone, right? So we decided Ethernet 1/1. We are going to connect towards router, which is our vWide untrust. Select vWide untrust. Select OK. That's it. The second interface, Ethernet 1/2, which is connected towards our switch. Switch interface type here again I'm going to select virtual wire. Okay, so virtual wire is none, and the security zone this time, this is our trusted zone, right? vWire trust. Right, okay. So as we discussed, we done with this configuration, like the zones we configure the zones and we configure the interfaces as well. Now we have the pending thing is security policy. So we need to perform the security policy, then we will perform the commit. So once we're done with this, right, so we are going to place the Palo Alto firewall here in between, and we are connecting Ethernet 1/1 towards router, Ethernet 1/2 towards our switch. So let's perform the security policy as well. Go to the policies, here security policy, click add, right. So what policy it is, we are going to mention here like vWire untrust, vWire trust, right, trust -2 vWire untrust. So vWire untrust to vWire trust. So this is where, right, this is where we are going to send the traffic, like from the trusted zone to untrusted zone. See here, from trusted zone to untrusted zone. So that's why the nomenclature, whatever the nomenclature you are taking, right, in the policies, take a proper naming so that while you are troubleshooting, so it will be help you. So I'm taking the name as a from vWire trust to vWire untrust, vWire untrust. Okay. Let me go to here. Everything is fine. Rule type is universal. Source. So source will become as a vWire trust. Okay. And the destination will become vWire untrust. vWire untrust. Application, any service, application default, the action would be allow. Log the session when it is start and log the session when it is end. Done. So I have performed the policies as well. Now the only thing is commit. So let me commit the things, changes. Commit. So while committing, we will discuss something. So we're done with the zoning. We created the zone and Ethernet 1/1. We assign this untrust, right? vWide untrust zone assigned with this interface because it is going towards router, and vWire trust zone we are assigned with this Ethernet 1/2, which is connected here like towards switch. Then we configure the security policies and we perform the commit. So once we the configuration was committed, right guys, so here we are going to place the Palo Alto firewall. So before I placing the Palo Alto firewall, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this particular interface. Then I'm going to take this Palo Alto box here. I'm going to place this Palo Alto box here, and one of the interface is going to connect towards your. So I'm going to place your Palo Alto box firewall here. So one interface I'm going to connect towards router, which is Ethernet 1/1, and the other interface I'm going to connect with the switch, which is Ethernet 1/2. We already done all the configuration, right? We need not to do anything. I'll turn off the box here and I'll place here. Then once I connect, then I'll turn on the topology. Just give 2 minutes because all the devices has to be functional properly. Then we will verify the same connectivity from here. So all the traffic will pass via this firewall to this google.com, and this firewall will not block anything. This firewall will not block anything. Okay. This firewall will not block anything. And in the session browser, we will see the logs also. We will see the logs also. It is going to show you inside interface is vWire trust, and outside interface is the destination interface is source interface is vWire trust, and the destination interface is as a vWire untrust. I'll put that. Okay. So commit is successful. Everything is fine. Okay. So now I'm going to log out from here. So you can see the logout. I'm in a dashboard. Okay. So I'm going to log out here. Here we will have a logout option. Logout. So I just log out from this box. Now, as we discussed, to set up this topology, we need to shut down our boxes. To set up this topology, this one, we need to shut down our router and switches, or else we will not able to connect. Because in the production network, you will not to do anything. As it is a virtual lab, right? So we need to do this. We already saved the configuration. So I'm going to first stop this Palo Alto box, stop, right? And I'm going to stop this router as well and this switch as well. So I stop all the devices. Now I'm going to remove this cable, delete. I deleted this cable. I place this box here. I'm not doing any configurations, guys. I'm just placing the firewall in between. Okay. So now I'm going to place cable Ethernet 1/1 in the Palo Alto side, and this is Ethernet 0/1. Earlier also we have seen Ethernet 0/1 in the router side, right? Ethernet 0/1. See here, Ethernet 0/1. So I'm not changing any interface in the router side. I'm just changing the interface here, Ethernet 1/1 in the Palo Alto firewall. Click OK. Then one more interface here to there, Ethernet 1/2 to Ethernet 0/0 towards switch. Now I'll not do anything. I'm just trying to adjust this topology. Okay, fine. Now I'll start all the devices. Router, I'm going to start, even this firewall as well, and this switch as well. So I started all the devices. So as we expected, this is what we expected, right? Earlier we have this kind of topology. See, without firewall we had, right? Without firewall without firewall. The existing network is everything is going towards your switch to router, and we have the NAT and everything, and internet is trying to reach the internet. Then we decided to place the Palo Alto firewall, but what we decided, we did not the downtime more than 10 minutes, right? More than 10 minutes. So we order this Palo Alto box and we receive here. Once we receive the Palo Alto box, we take the management access to the CLI, and we configure the firewall according to our requirement based on the vByte. And once we configure, we place the firewall here. Now see, I turn on all the devices. Now I'll try to ping from here towards 8.8.8.8. You will see the 8.8 traffic will go via the firewall, and you will see this traffic in the session browsers as well. So this firewall is not going to drop your traffic. It is not going to take any action. As we discussed, guys, earlier also, what we discussed in the theoretical class, vByte deployment means it's a transparent firewall. It is going to be work as a transparently. Basically, we are not going to configure any of the IP address in this particular interface. Now also we haven't configured any IP address on the respective port, like the trusted and untrusted ports. Transparent firewall means without disturbing the existing infrastructure. We are not going to disturb. We are disturbing minimum downtime, right? It's minimum 5 minutes only. So we are going to turn off these devices only for 5 minutes. That too in our lab only. In the production network, you need not to turn off these devices, guys. Remember this point, okay? In production network, only this cable you need to remove the cable and place the Palo Alto firewall here and connect the firewall. That's it. In the production, you are not going to off the devices. You are not going to off the device. Okay, this is the important thing. This is the important thing. I remember this point and note down this point. If you turn off this, like in the production network, then you will get the ping slip. Okay. Now, chalo. So let's see what exactly happening in our topology. So everything is fine. Let me open my router once again. So VPC, right? Down. So router and enable mode. When try to ping 8.8.8.8. Okay, fine. From router, I'm able to reach internet, so I can minimize this. Even though I can check the translation as well, guys. So I will add translations. So I will add translation. Why the translation is not happening? Because now see, I'll show you translation. Ping 8.8.8.8 source as a LAN IP 192.168.1.1. So once I perform this, communication is working, right? So now I'll show you the translation. See, translation, because at the translation will work only if the traffic is hitting from the private IP. Then when it happens the translation from private to public, then only it is going to show you. Okay. So if I repeat this command and repeat, I'll mention 10, or else I'll mention 50. See here, the 50 packets are going to be exchanged between from router to 8.8.8. The ICMP traffic is going. Once it was done, right, I'll show you the translations. So see how the translation is happening in the router. Done, right? So I'll show you the translation. So I can add translation. See, the translation is happening. It's a continuous drop. So let me drop this one and let me open the Palo Alto firewall. I will log in from here. Log in. Meanwhile, I'll open this box as well. Windows box. And we'll assign the IP address 1.20 as we decided. So password is test test 3. Let me see what IP is configured in this box. Let me config. We don't have any IP address. Imagine the IP address. Open network. Change adapter settings. IPv4. So here I'm going to assign 192.168.1.20/24 subnet. Gateway will be 192.168.1.1. DNS I'll mention 8.8.8.8. Just okay. Close this as well. And now we'll check the IP address again. IP config. So we have the 1.20 IP address, right? We minimize this screen. So we have the, I think, Palo Alto. Yeah, we have the Palo Alto. So username is admin. Password is capital ADMIN@123. The administrative session is created. So we're using PAN OS 10. Remind me later. See guys, I'll show you in the monitor session browser. We don't have any traffic, right? We don't have any traffic. Now I'll try to initiate the traffic. Now I'll try to initiate the traffic from this LAN machine. See now, this is what our topology, right? The V wide. So I'll try to initiate the traffic from here towards 8.8.8. We mention here .com. So here we have a google.com server. So we choose the IP address is 8.8.8.8, which is go on the internet. Likewise, we have a different servers like web servers. We'll try to reach them as well. Now, if I try to reach ping from here to to the 8.8.8, the traffic will pass via this firewall. As of now, in the session browser, you are not seeing any logs. But once I ping from here, right, you will see the logs in the Palo Alto file. So we don't have any logs. Okay, well and good. So let me go to this VPC. So here we have already VPC. We open the VPC here. This is our VPC, right? Now, earlier before firewall inserted the firewall, we are able to reach the internet. Let's see now we are able to reach. No, we are not able to reach. What happened? Show IP. We have the IP address. We try to reach my gateway 192.168.1.com. Still not reachable. Try to reach this guy. Try from Windows machine as well. Whatever it used to be. It used to work, guys. No configuration. I'll not change anything. Let's see. Okay. Let me close this. Open this one. 192.168.1.1. The gateway is not reachable. It's not reachable. This is unreachable. So if it is not reachable means request timeout. This is where your troubleshooting will start once again. So if it is not reachable means something is happened. So what IP we configured here? IP config. So we have the expected IP address. We have here 92.168.1.1 and 1.20. It's fine. Even I will not able to reach 8.8.8. Okay, so let me try to troubleshoot here. So I don't think so. Here the traffic is not going. Earlier we have the same kind of topology, right? Let me check here. Ethernet 0/0. Ethernet 0/0. Okay, fine. So let me check in the switch side. Okay. So we have a MAC address statement also. Ethernet 0/1. Yeah, we don't have the Ethernet 0/0 MAC address, so that's why it's not taking. Ethernet 0/0 is unassigned and up. Everything is fine. Okay. See, guys, I know why it is not working. I know. So the issue is, so we created the we created. Okay. So we created this one, right? The VY, virtual Y, but we forgot to pair the wires. See here, I'm in a dashboard, right? If you go into the network, okay, in the network you will see the one option, virtual wires. So go here. So this option I forgot actually to mention. So once you go here, right, virtual wire, click on this. So mention any name, okay. Virtual wire. I'll mention my hyphen virtual hyphen wire. Actually, this configuration earlier we need to do, guys, but I haven't configured that. I just forgot that. So due to which I'm doing now. So in the virtual wire, what I need to mention, right? We need to map these two physical interfaces. We need to call in a group in a okay. So we need to configure. We need to map that interfaces in a group. So that's what I'm doing here. You can see. So earlier I need to do that, but I haven't do interface one. Which interface? Anything you can take. I'm taking Ethernet 1/1. The interface two. These two interfaces I'm going to map this. See, I'm going to map the interfaces. Click OK. Now just commit. Actually, before we insert the box here, right? We need to perform that, but I forgot. Okay, let me mention that point also. So I'll mention here. You can note down in your point. So once we done with this steps, right? Here we need to do like go to the network. There you will see the virtual wires. In the virtual wire, you need to map the interfaces. Which interfaces? Ethernet 1/1 plus Ethernet 1/2 in a row. That I forgot to mention here. Okay. So once you've done this, right, your traffic used to be work, guys. Your traffic used to be. So we need to do that. no problem. So now we perform that, right? So once the commit was done, actually that is a virtual wire pair actually. So we need to create the pair. Okay. Virtual wire pair, group or pair, you can say anything. That's it. There is no difference. So that I mentioned, forgot to mention. See, now it is a close. Now if I check the same thing from the VPC, I'm trying to reach my gateway address. See, now it is working fine. My gateway is working fine. Okay. And if I try to reach 8.8 also, it will also working fine. See, it's working fine, right? So if I want to check the logs, I need to go into the monitor, the session browser. See here, the logs are crazy, right? Logs are crazy. See, everything we are working. So we are minimizing the downtime. We're not increasing the downtime. We are minimizing the downtime and we are just inserting the box. So just forget. I forgot that to pay the interfaces. So while you are going to deploy, just don't forget that. Okay. See here, the traffic is from zone virtual wire trust zone to virtual wire and trust zone. Source is 1.10. So this is what our VPC's address, right? Source is 1.10 and destination is 8.8.8. So this is your Google server, right? So the port is source port is a random and the protocol is 1 because it's a ping, right? ICMP port number is 1 and the application is ping. Rule C here, virtual wire trust to untrust. This is what the rule we created, right? Policies we created. And the interfaces, see here, Ethernet 1/2, which is our trust interface, and Ethernet 1/1, which is our untrust interface. See, the data is passing here. Session ID 13. Okay, session ID is 13, and you can see timeout, ICMP timeout. I mentioned you right multiple times. So we have the different timeouts. For the ICMP timeout is 6 seconds. Okay, the application we are using ping and the protocol is 1. The security rule name is vwire trust to vwire untrust. The traffic is hitting to this particular interface, and the source C2S means client to server. Client means your VPC and server means 8.8.8. The source address is 1.10 and the destination address is 8.8.8. Source port is always random. Okay, and when the traffic is written from the google.com 8.8 to your PC server to client, it is going to hit vwire untrust. Okay, and it is source will become the 8.8.8 and the destination will become 192.168.1.10, right? So this is what your traffic, guys. If you see now, if you refresh the traffic log will be removed. See, because the ICMP timeout is 6 seconds only. See, we don't have any traffic. Let me generate some traffic from this machine as well. See, it is also working fine now. So I'll open the Google browser. Come on. As a default, say something. Cisco.com. Okay, we'll open Facebook. We'll open YouTube. See, we're opening everything, right? So if you check the logs now in the session browser, just refresh. So you'll get hell number of logs. See here. See, you want to check the YouTube specified YouTube logs. So then you need to mention here, right? See, wherever you are seeing, right? I'll show you where exactly you will get. So this is your DNS related things. YouTube, just select in this, apply the filter, click here. See how much traffic. So we will open one time only, right? YouTube.com. So that's why we have a one log. Likewise, we have a Facebook also. You will see in the Facebook also we have a Twitter, Google, DNS, SSL traffic, SSL updates. See, this is what your traffic, guys. Clear? So this is what the lab. So we try to achieve this lab, and whatever we discuss, right, we perform all the things.